Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tadaima, a Terrace House podcast, your weekly companion to your favorite show on Netflix. I am Robert Scarpanito, and I'm joined here by Daily Wilhelm,
Konbanwa,
Jack Cepeda,
Irashaimase,
and Colin Sparling.
Minasan, konbanwa.
And guys, it's the day. Today's the day. Part 6 of Opening Your Doors has dropped on Netflix. Get excited.
Christmas.
We know
came
you're
early.
waiting with bated breath.
Yeah.
Just can't wait. So we're gonna sit here for the next 5 minutes. Just give you nice silence. Let the hype really build up. And just when you're at the peak, we're just gonna end the episode.
That would be a bad show. Yeah, that'd be a bad show. But it's a Terrace House holiday, guys. We want to take this moment to thank everyone that's been with us so far since, what are we, like 3 months old now, guys? We started in December, thereabouts.
We just spoke our first words.
And so thank you to everyone that's, started listening to us, but also all the people that have come in since that time and are coming on this journey with us. So thank you guys for that.
Yeah, this has been wild. For a while, I actually did contemplate actually doing Colin's great idea for a podcast of just kind of editing his silence right here and just not doing this episode. But you know what? We're going to be gracious. We're going to be nice to you. And today we're going to deliver our spoiler cast of episode 41, Embarrassing Rejections.
Man, the tension's been building up. I mean, that's what I love / hate about Terrace House is that they make you wait like 8 to 10 to 12 weeks. It seems like in between seasons on international Netflix, and it's just like, oh, what's gonna happen? They were watching that show on Netflix, Kaito and Maya, right? That was where we left off, where they're sharing earbuds.
Right. So, I mean, just yesterday we dropped a kind of recap of part 5, but yeah, we were kind of left with Kaito and Maya are looking pretty juicy together. Io
Juicy.
And
Yeah, interesting choice of words.
You're welcome. And Io and Risako were looking pretty hot in the gym together, and Yui was there, and Sota is sad. And this episode changed a lot of it in a lot of ways that I like and both also don't like. And let's just dive in, right? Let's just get into it.
Okay.
Second I saw this title, I was so prepared to laugh at Sota. I mean, I knew immediately this has to be Sota.
We knew exactly what I meant. Yeah, I just say something real quick that like there's always been a trend with the titles and the descriptions of Terrace House episodes where they're just a little bit too spoilery. They're like right at the edge of like just pretty much spoiling whatever the hell's going to happen in the episode.
Yeah, it's kind of like you are hoping. I was hoping that Sota would get rejected, and then when you see the title, like, okay, good. This is what I want. This is what I'm here for. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, like, they're basically one step away from just naming this episode, like, Soda's leaving. Or maybe that's just going to be the next episode title. You know what I mean? Just, like, straight up, like, here's what happens, right?
They've done that, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Bye-bye, Miss Terrace House.
Yeah.
I feel like if Sota could be a song, it would just be Slow Dancing in the Dark by Joji all the time. It's literally like Sota all the time.
Can we just get him in that suit, like shot by an arrow, bleeding out? He's searching for his glasses.
So the name of the episode was Embarrassing Rejections, right?
Yeah, and I do want to point out that juicy S at the end, because I thought, wait a minute, Sota only asked one girl out on a date. Why are there multiple rejections? And it just gets so juicy from here, y'all. Just like Kaito and Maya from last episode. So this episode opens up with the living room. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess, the panel does a recap. We just did it for you. So they go to the living room where Sota, Maya, and Yui are sitting there. And Sota starts recounting the whole, like, oh, yeah, I asked Risako out on a glasses picking date. And he specifically phrased it like, like a spot was open.
Dude, he doubled down on there's a spot open. There's an opportunity to help me pick my glasses. Like, holy shit. He's so clueless. And I know we're hammering this home from part 5 spoilers, but holy shit, like, this man he's just completely oblivious. He has no idea how hard they are dunking on him behind his back.
I feel like something got through to him because of the visceral reaction from Maya and Yui. Like, even Yui was like, wow.
Yeah,
dude,
she's burying her
really?
head in like shame.
Yeah.
She was turtling. She didn't want to be there.
I mean, Maya was laughing like Risako was, except she was like, you asked her like that. That's what you said.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I guess that's not normal, huh? And she's like, no, it's not.
Yeah, and Yui even like just kind of leaves. Like she goes to take a bath. I wouldn't be surprised if she's just leaving because like I don't want to deal with this person right now. And the camera cuts to the blackboard, which I find kind of interesting because they left. Risako left a message in Tokyo for a photo shoot, and then she spells her name Richako.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which is a great like hint. Like this is maybe one of the few times the editors left a good like if you set up a Richako in Act 1, it pays off in Act 3, and it definitely pays off at the end of this episode.
Is there any like insight at all into like what that play on words is, or is it just like a cutie way of her referring to herself? Did she make up a character for herself?
It's cuter. It's the way I would equate it is baby talk. Like
baby
cha
talks yourself.
sounds are very like baby talk. Like the way that in English it's like you turn like L's into W's, like whittle instead of little. You turn like S's or other concordant sounds into like cha. Okay. So yeah,
extra
it's kind of,
cringy.
it's a little cutesy for a woman of her age. Not that she's old, but it's like she strikes me as someone that wouldn't do that, which is interesting, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, and then we will talk about the third person referral too, please.
Right. And when Robert and I were watching the episode, they showed like when they showed the blackboard, they showed the subtitle Richako, and they had she wrote her name in I think hiragana or was it katakana? Anyway, I think it was katakana, and it was like I was like I'm pretty sure that does have Richako. I wonder why that is like so.
Even though
it's really weird.
Maya, I notice exclusively like refers to her as like Ri-chan, just Ri.
Right, right. And real quick, I know we're going to talk a lot about Sota-san on this episode because he was in almost every fucking scene. But this is just like textbook example, people, okay, out there listening on the internet, that it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Like very easily, he could have been like, hey, you know what? I'm picking out like some new flair, like some glasses. You know, I really like the way you dress. I really like your sense of style. Would you mind coming with me and helping me find some that look good?
Oh my, Jack, I'd love to.
That's all you have to say. But you know what? I don't know about your schedule, but there's an opportunity to go on a glasses picking date.
Yeah, I have a hot opportunity for you. There's a spot open.
By the way,
we're looking for a like-minded, talented individual like yourself.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that. It's like he's pitching a presentation at work.
Yeah, so weird. So that's the way not to do it, guys. We can do better. We can do better.
And
it's like you. Go ahead, Robert. I was gonna say like it was like he was trying to pose it to a table of a group of people, and that they were supposed to like claw and bite and fight over. over being the one
like
who gets to go with
submit
Sota.
your bids to go on this glasses picking
Right.
date.
Yeah,
There can only be one.
Yeah.
just send in your resumes by Friday, end of business day, and we'll have an answer for you by Monday morning. But you know, he basically phrases it as like he needs an ally to help him pick out some glasses, and Maya brings up why not Io, and he's like, that's gross.
That's gay.
No,
I'm
I
gonna
think he
get
said
the
gross.
gay. No, I know,
said
but like
gross,
that's like
but he's implying it, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, why would a guy do that? Like,
Even though he went out with
Io later.
Shinsuke, and that
Yeah.
was a date.
all these
We
questions.
refer to it as a date.
It was a date.
yeah.
They rode in
was a
one
date.
go kart together. That was a date.
That was a date.
And that was
And
his
they
idea. That was
they also
Sota's
ran
idea.
in hamster balls on a shallow lake.
Balls.
Yeah. Yes.
I will never forget that because that's such a good moment. But then we cut to a scene at Onioshidashi Park. I think I got that right. With Io and Risako, and they're having that cutesy little lava rocks date, which I mean, kind of like that place was cool.
We were
Yeah.
joking. Yeah, before we were joking, like, oh, they're going to go to Mordor. They fucking legit went to, like, the side of, it looked like a volcano. I mean, it was really cooler than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of want to go there if I ever go to Japan now. Like, it just looks so scenic.
Like
Pretty.
This is classic. Like Terrace House is also a tourism show, maybe because you know it's like how many people now want to go there, right?
Did
after
you
seeing the
know
show.
we'll take your money if you want to do this, too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be so surprised if this show is doing dividends for a lot of their tourism.
Oh, I'm
industry
sure.
stuff. Yeah.
I'm sure they make deals. I mean, there has to be a reason like that. For example, that gelato place gets featured multiple times throughout the season.
Yeah, and even in that movie that I bring up multiple times, Your Name, like that's a lot of those scenes are based on real life places in Tokyo, and those are now tourist attractions where people go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, so this lava rock date, I mean, it's cute, right? Like it's your classic, oh man, Risako is getting cold, so Io gives her his jacket. Like, oh, isn't that classic cliche dating?
Here's when I found out. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
Okay, here's when I found out that Io did not like Risako. Okay? And it wasn't when he says it was. It was the moment he woke up that morning and decided those were the fucking pants he's wearing on a date. What the fuck was the checkerboard chessboard fucking pants? I was like, are you fucking serious?
Maybe he just really likes checkerboard slip-on Vans.
Reminded me of fucking Napoleon Dynamite. He was like, you think anyone wants a back kick to the face when I'm wearing these babies? I don't think so. It was that bad.
Everyone's very fashion forward on the show to the point that sometimes I don't understand their stylistic choices. But I'm guessing those are some expensive pants. I bet those are like fashion, like high end. That's another thing I wanted to bring up eventually. Like, I feel like people on the show might have cut deals with certain labels like Sota and this fat brand. Like, he's constantly wearing their swag.
And like, we know Sota is famous for his modeling before he got on the show, right? He was a Junon boy. So like, clearly he's a model in some capacity, right?
Fucking Calvin Klein missed the opportunity to send Shunsuke all their drawers for him to wear so he'd have to steal Noah's.
I woke up this morning, there was just a big package of like Calvin Klein briefs downstairs for me. I don't know. For me, I kind of noticed too that Io wasn't into Risako, and it wasn't because of his pants, and maybe because I'm in the minority and think those pants look amazing. Maybe
oh my
not.
God.
I thought they looked fine.
Yeah, they look fine.
All
Like
right,
he pulled it off. That's what I think. Like, he has the swagger to pull something like that off.
All I'm saying is, if you ever seen me wear those kind of pants, I have given up all hope.
Well, you don't have the swagger to pull it off.
Hey, that's subjective, I guess.
But for me, the moment was when, like, there were multiple times during this date where Risako is kind of hinting at, like, she doesn't believe whatever Io's saying. Like, she kind of feels like his tone is a little bit misleading. And not once did Io try to, like, correct course and be like, oh no, I'm totally, like, I'm serious. Like, you look really cute there or whatever. He just kind of laughs and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that's something I noticed. They do have a great rapport. Like, they say flirty things back and forth quite often, but it's always very deadpan. There's not a lot of, like, hesitation behind it. And it reminds me of, like, there's a post that I saw where it's like, the best piece of advice I ever got about dating was, like, don't trust people that aren't flustered when they say, declarations of affection, because maybe that means that they don't really feel it.
That they're just kind of rehashing things.
Yeah, they just feel like they have to say it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're following an internal script.
Yeah, because that's like, otherwise, if it was like a moment of like hesitation and like, well, and then Io says, I'm glad I got to go out with a pretty girl today on this date. It's like, if he had kind of stammered, that would have been like a huge Terrace house line. But instead it was just like, he says it around a mouthful of food.
Yeah. Like, dude, swallow first. Yeah. He's like, I heard you're pretty. Like, no.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, all their interactions, right? Like, it just draws me back to when they were in the gym, and it just kind of seems like he's like kind of hitting on her, kind of blatantly, and then she just kind of laughs. That's like kind of the extent of their banter to me.
It feels like they're just going through motions rather than actually interested, or at least for Io, right?
Yeah,
because when we go back to
fireworks,
because when we go back to the girls' room, right? It's all the girls there, and Risako, she seems like she's a little taken by Io, right? She's like, he was such a gentleman. I had a lot of fun. He's really sweet. I loved his pants.
All the girls agreed though that he was, gentlemanly, and he would hold the door open, and apparently that got brownie points.
Right. And and she even gives that good luck charm to Yui, because Yui's on a job hunt,
so
right?
sweet.
Like, that was sweet.
Yeah.
That was really nice. Even though they only know each other for like 4 weeks at this point, maybe.
Tie this to your hockey pants.
Yeah, when you go out to play hockey tonight.
Yeah.
And
As
then
Yui does.
Right. I mean, she picked up a lot from Tsubasa. They were best friends, you know?
Yeah.
Or no, that was Ami. Anyway, yeah, then they steer the conversation toward like, oh yeah, like Soda's glasses picking date. Are you gonna go on that? And Risako was like, well, and then you hear a knock on the door.
Speak of the devil.
In comes
Pon,
Soda.
pon, pon.
They were all shocked to see that it was him that answered.
It was like
It
a
was-
perfectly scripted thing.
This
So
motherfucker,
lined up.
this motherfucker interrupted the girl Taku, right, to confirm and solidify the glasses picking date. In his head, he was doing the right thing. He's like, well, we don't have a date yet for when you're going to help me pick these glasses out. So that's what I'm here to interrupt your conversation about.
Yeah, and I love how the second you see his face peek through the doorway, it cuts to the intro.
Yeah.
It's like we know we just kind of stopped something important, right?
Did anyone else gasp at that moment? Because I audibly gasped.
I did too.
I was like, ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated. We're about to witness a murder.
About to see a man and his life murdered by words.
But
And
for
then
real,
what transpires is awesome.
it's so good. So yeah, Sota walks in, alpha male swagger, sits down next to Risako, and is like, "Hey, so we haven't set up a date yet for the glasses picking thing. Do you know when you're free?" And she's just like, well, I mean, you know, you
She
probably
was-
already know what looks best on you. I just get in the way. I feel like maybe it'd be pointless for me to go. I mean, I don't know how much I could contribute, but if you have questions, you could send me pictures.
Dude, that's what like friends do. That's like what normal people would say. I think she handled that given the pressure and given the public, you know, it was out there, right? Like I think she handled it pretty well, about as well as
She clearly put some thought into it.
There was so much stammering, like going back and being like, well, I mean to say, and how I'm trying to say that, like, because she really didn't want to hurt his feelings, which is something that's really nice about her. Because I think if I was in that situation, I'd be like, dude, no,
Like, take a fucking hint, bro.
because he really should have understood the first time when she just sat at the table and laughed.
and like was basically crying, like laughing to the point of crying out loud in his face. And he's like, all right, bye. Like, dude, this guy is just a different kind of dude.
Like my thing is when she said that line that was like, you can send me pictures if you can't decide on a pair. To me, that's like she has thought this through. She knows everything he might say, every pathway he might lead down, and she is cutting him down at the knees at every turn. She is giving him no quarter.
Yeah, no, completely agreed. Like, I mean, but that's what a friend would say, right? If somebody asked me to do something that I don't want to do, I'm like, you know what? Like, you know, everything she said made total sense to me. It's just not a date, you know.
So-
and it's the way he said it that just totally turned her off.
Yeah. So Sota leaves. His head should be hanging in shame, but you know what? This doesn't affect him. He leaves with a good old smile on his face. And the first thing Yui says is, "It all happened so fast."
No, Maya was like, I couldn't follow it. I don't know what just happened.
And Yui sitting there like this. Yui was sitting there covering her eyes and her ears with her arms.
Wasn't he then like defending himself, saying, "Oh, well, it wasn't a date or something like that"?
He was trying to make it sound like it wasn't a date. It was
Trying
just
to
like,
minimize it.
yeah, I need help from someone who could pick out glasses for me.
Right.
Even though
dude.
he had previously said to someone else, I forget who, but he was like, what if she picks out something that I don't like and I'm going to have to be like,
Yeah.
What an ass.
I don't know, man. So, he's a contradictory boy because we're going to find out here in these next two scenes, right? So, in the boys' room now, it's Sota and Io. And Sota is like, I guess, licking his wounds, kind of. You know, he's telling Io the story of what just happened in the girls' room.
it's a
But he
different story.
Yeah, it's a totally different story, you know? He's just like, oh, I think she was just saying that, you know, she's a little busy and doesn't have the time to...
But it would be okay if he said that. But he says, like, as if she said, like, I don't have time to help you pick out your glasses, you pleb. Like, he makes
Who the
her
fuck do you are?
into the villain of the situation, which is
Oh, man.
totally, yeah. He victimizes himself quite a bit. If anything goes wrong, he's like, man, people just don't like me, I guess.
Yeah,
and
it's them. It's
perpetrating all
definitely
these.
not me.
It's them, yeah, not me.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he even caps it off by saying, "It's not like I wear glasses much anyway." The next scene, he's wearing fucking glasses in the kitchen.
Yeah. It's
At
fucking,
6
it's
in the morning.
It's just a piece of flair after I come home, take my contacts off. Bullshit, motherfucker. Like, he's like crunching in on those emails, right? Like, 6:40 in the morning. He's like,
We see him like coming home from work in his glasses, and presumably he's been wearing them all day versus just like switching randomly on the way home. That'd be weird.
and I've said it before, and I say it again. Those motherfuckers are thick. I don't know why he thinks they're flattering. They just look like Coke, like the bottom of Coke
This
bottles.
is the same guy that was wearing overalls and thought that was totally fine, though.
High fashion, like you said
High
earlier,
fat.
right?
We just don't.
Yeah.
We're just not on that level.
We're
We
not
just
on that
can't.
Clearly,
Can't pull it off, as
comprehend.
Robert said. I can't pull off the overalls.
clearly though, he needs help picking out glasses, right?
He needs help, all right.
Well, he needs help, period. But yeah. So the next morning, he's in the kitchen working hard, hammering out those emails, thick glasses on his face. And
Listening to Slow Dancing in the Dark by Joji.
exactly, on repeat until he gets sick of the song. And Maya walks in, and Sota asks, "Hey, what are your plans this weekend? Want to go glasses shopping with me?" And she laughs.
That was pretty funny. That was pretty good.
She's like,
It's a
"Are
good
you
joke.
serious?"
Yeah,
I'll
it's a
give
good
him
joke.
credit. That was funny.
Yeah,
That was funny.
Because he wasn't serious, but maybe he was.
But
And
maybe
he's
he
like, "Oh
was.
no, it's a
Never
joke,
mind,
it's a
I'm
joke, I
joking.
swear."
He's like, you know,
I'm
I still
totally
gotta get
joking.
these. I still gotta get these glasses right.
Hey, I'm still the spot's still open, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he says he's kidding. I think I believe him this time. I think he's finally like making yokels at his own, at the cost of his own ego. But then he's like, actually though, I've always wanted to visit a brewery. Do you want to go with me this weekend? And I just need to ask, Colin, did he contact you at all a couple months ago when he was looking for breweries to go to?
Oh, guys, I totally forgot to tell you. Optimism is opening a Kuruizawa branch.
Okay, no. They need to
so-
sponsor us for any jokes.
Yeah. No, let me pick that up for you, Colin. There, you just dropped that name there. Here you go.
Hey, like they said at work, they want us to be brand ambassadors. Hey.
He's
Classic.
wearing an Optimism hoodie right now.
I am. It's
Audio
warm and
listeners.
it's comfortable.
I'm rearing us back on the rails here, guys. So that was an actual date, though. Props, at least. Like, that's a real thing that people do on a real kind of date, I would think. Tour a brewery, have some beer,
I like that they called it a field trip.
bar hop.
Yeah, so I kind of want to
Yeah.
hone in on that, right? So, like, in the next scene, in the kitchen, it's Kaito and Sota, and Maya enters, and Kaito asks Maya, like, "Hey, what are you doing this weekend?" She's like, "I'm going on a field trip with Sota."
Going on a trip in my favorite rocket ship.
Okay, look, I'm not gonna say I'm a Casanova. I'm no master of romance in any way, shape, or form. But if one of the two people on the date call it a field trip, no one's going home with each other at the end of that date.
I mean, only because they live together.
Yeah, they live together. But, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, that just sucks all the romance out of it. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think... I don't know that... Because this is the first time they've went out, right? I'm not wrong? Or is it? Did they
It's
go
the
out
first
again
date.
before?
No,
It's their first
for them
date, I
two,
think.
it's their first
Yeah.
date.
Yeah, okay, so that is the first time they went out, just the two of them. And so, I don't know, is brewery, going to a brewery like that, is that a good first date? What do you guys think? Is
I
that
mean,
good
that's a
first date?
subjective question. I mean, I think it could be. I think anything could be. I think him, like, flattering, like the way I said he should have asked her to go on the glasses picking date, I think that could have rolled into another activity that rolled into another activity that could have been an awesome date. Like, anything can be a date. Really.
True.
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, though, like, Maya particularly, I don't know if she seemed kind of lukewarm about the brewery idea. I think she kind of did.
And she
They-
brings it up. Go ahead.
They were actually surprisingly like high energy. I felt like when they were like
During the
telling
date
Kaito
itself.
about it, and like
Yeah.
they seemed really pumped for it. They actually had some good rapport going. But then
Yeah.
once they were there,
I think that he actually really did surprise her in asking her out of the blue like that. And I think that is what led her to agree to go in the first place. She was just like kind of feeling it out, and he kind of teed himself up there and got his foot in the door to maybe plant some romantic seeds into that relationship. But the fact that we get into it later in the episode, but the fact that he never talked to her in the house or nurtured that relationship or didn't do anything just was so Sota, I guess. Like, why are we even surprised?
Right, exactly. And right after the brewery tour ends, we get a scene where he may have had his foot in the door, but then he slams that door fucking shut. Right, at that when they're sitting on the at the bench. What I'm talking about is after the brewery tour, and it was just him and Maya talking, and she basically what does she say?
She tells him that, like, if maybe Risako would have gone on that date with you if you had asked her in like.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't the date itself, but it was the way you said it, like Jack was saying earlier.
Right.
And then he proceeds to like further deny something else that is escaping me.
Well, so Maya says that, hey, I've noticed, like, whenever Risa goes in the playroom, you go to the playroom, you follow her a lot, and I'm pretty sure that you like her. And he's like, no, I don't like. No, it's just the playroom's cleaner. It's gotten cleaner in the past.
Right.
Dude,
He was saying that he avoided that room because it was fucking messy, is what he said.
Dude, what kind of fucking second grade shit is that? Like, like if you don't like something that's dirty, like fucking clean it. That's what adults do. Yeah. They don't just like go to the places that other people have cleaned for them to dwell in. Like, that was a weird explanation.
Yeah, it was some bullshit that he
too much.
Yeah, he definitely made that shit up on the spot, and it served him nothing. It helped him in no way, shape, or form.
That's the thing. No one trusts him.
Yeah, he can't be honest with people except about his divorce and child. That's the only thing. He's used all his honesty on his dark backstory, and now he can't be honest about anything else.
And maybe it begs the question, how honest is that story?
See, so here's the thing, right? Is he... we kind of alluded to this in the millions of times we've talked about him telling people about the divorce and the child, is that as much as he uses that story as like, hi, I'm Sota, we don't really know how he feels, right, about that. It's just like, yep, those are facts that have happened to me and around me 5 years ago, and here I am today. He doesn't ever go into like, oh man, it was hard at first or something like that, He just kind of says things so matter-of-factly.
I mean, he's always got his guard up, right? He's always scared to show any vulnerability in every interaction, no matter how trivial.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of getting around to, is that he just doesn't wear any of his emotions on his sleeve. And that really comes through in this moment where he's like, oh, I don't go to the playroom because, it wasn't clean.
It's like, just say, like, yeah, I think Risako's cool. I'd like to get to know her better. I'd like to get to know you better too.
Yeah, it's like, dude, this is some high school ass shit right here. Like, get out of here.
Same.
Get out of here.
But he does end this date with at least the promise of a second field trip, which cool. I don't really know how he managed it, but he somehow kind of convinced Maya, like, hey, when I want to do something next time, I'll invite you to it. And she's like, yeah, I can't wait I can't wait, but she's like, yeah, we'll go on more field trips.
And her mind was open, I think. Yeah. I think that was a sincere, like, thought from Maya. I mean, but then when he, again, completely seems to ignore her in the house and never talk to her and never elicit any, nurturing of that relationship, then, yeah, it's going to die on the vine, especially since she's got feelings going on for Kaito-san.
So... something I wanted to bring up, things that going in the house, because we kind of skated over this, and this was my big twist for this episode, was the conversations that people have been having throughout the episode, is that Yui and Io spend a lot of time together, and they're hanging out in the house all the time. We don't see that. We saw that once in this episode. But
Robert and I, yes, that we saw that happen because I think, is it Io that mentions it first? I believe it is.
Cha-ching! Oh my God. Listen, guys, I'm just calling it out. That was my fucking dark horse prediction. Go back and listen to the prediction cast. I was like, what do you think will never fucking happen ever on this house? And I said, it's fucking Io and Yui are going to get together. And everyone was like, that's fucking crazy. And it's fucking happening now.
Because we knew already, Io had said, like, he likes Yui. And it's like, but he said it kind of in the way that it's like, she's a mom to everyone. It's like everyone loves Yui. Everyone would want to marry Yui. But at the time, he was definitely kind of put himself in the position that he was gunning for Risako. And then throughout this episode, people keep being like, well, like Ayo and Yui have been hanging out a lot. And then he like straight up tells Sota, he's like, oh yeah, I've been going out with Risako a lot, but I'm not super comfortable with her as I am with Yui.
Yeah, that happens like later on in the episode, and I was going to get to that. But yeah, I mean, essentially, they're doing this classic Terrace House thing that I'm so fucking sick of.
Yeah.
Where it's like all this stuff happens off screen, and then all of a sudden, bam, oh yeah, I'm super into this girl. Oh yeah, I'm super into this guy.
Yeah, it almost makes me feel like our predictions episodes are getting moot at this point. You know what I mean? It just feels pointless because how can you ever know?
Right, it's a moving target. You're never going to hit a moving target. Yeah, it almost makes you feel like you miss episodes of the show.
Yeah, because think about it. Like the only reason we predicted that, like,
because there was a dark horse. It was like, what's the most unpredictable thing? That's why I threw it out there.
That came from a conversation of, okay, but if people were fucking down off camera, who would it be? Right? Like that's something we actually had to think about, which at that point it could be literally anyone because none of their interactions happen on camera, which is so obnoxious.
Yeah.
I believe the word you're looking for is tonguing down.
Well, I'm pretty sure. I'd bet no one's saying a fuck down hard.
The reason
they did in the playroom.
The reason though I said that was because it seemed so preposterous at the time. So it was a total Hail Mary that ended up somehow being real.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we just need to have more wild cards in our predictions, guys, is what it sounded like.
Oh, man.
All right, next, I'm calling it. At the beginning of Tokyo, the Terrace House Tokyo, Yama's in the house, and he's already fucked everyone else in the house in the first episode. I'm calling it.
Jeez.
I'm pretty sure.
Even the guys.
Hold me to it.
All right, we'll see. Hey. Their editing does get crazy. We'll see what happens.
And they don't even reveal it till like episode 16. It's like Yama's already long gone from the house, and she's like, yeah, but like I'm pretty sure we had sex before everything.
Did we just
little
have sex?
Did we know, like, what if Sota and Risako have secretly been like getting it on behind closed doors?
Dude, who knows? Who knows? I mean, there's no crazy predictions anymore you can throw out there that aren't feasible given the lazy editing on display here.
Right, but to bring us back to the show, so one thing I do want to talk about, because we kind of skipped over it in the whole like beer brewery date part, but they cut we kind of cut back to the panel and their first kind of thoughts on what's happening in the episode. And I want to point out this is the first of 2 times in the episode where Yama thinks that he and Sota are the same being,
which is worrying for Sota.
Yeah. He's like, I think with the same brain that Sota thinks with. When Sota was recounting that rejection with Risako, he, like we said, makes Risako seem like the villain, rather than taking responsibility for maybe I fucked up and how I asked it. And like to me, I was thinking, yeah, that's totally a Yama way to like talk about a story.
Yeah, I was like, dude, yeah, that just goes to show how self-deprecating Yama is to admit to something like that. That's just like straight deep character flaw. Just tossing it out there.
Mm-hmm. And they bring up Costco. That old Costco rejection from Boys and Girls in the City.
Only because that was like the second now coldest rejection in Terrace House history, where this one going on where like, you just send me a photo. If you need help picking, is definitely the top rejection in show history so far.
Let it be etched in stone.
Yes, let it be known.
And I think moving forward, I'm going to call Sota the honorable one-liner machine, because that's what Yama referred to him as. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. That's about right.
He says things that I don't understand I don't understand this man.
Yeah, you're not alone. You're not alone.
So yeah, back to the playroom with Ayo, Sota, Maya, and Yui. They're sitting there watching episode 36 or 37, I think. The one with Kaito and Yui's skate date.
Yep.
And Yui kind of starts talking like, oh man, seeing myself on the screen have so much fun. Man, I looked like I was having a lot of fun. And Maya was giving her like the fucking dagger eyes.
Oh my gosh.
She was not amused by that.
Subtle.
Yeah, she was not amused. She was feeling threatened. It was crazy to see that so blatant.
Yeah, that's the thing. We Robin and I were talking about it while we were watching the episode, was that Maya just does not hide her emotions whatsoever. She wears every single emotion on her face at all times.
She's the antithesis of Sota.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And yeah, she was 100% like every time she wasn't getting talked to, Maya was just giving Yui the side eye or looking very depressed or very sad or very angry.
And
You
I
gotta
feel-
wonder then, is it ambiguous that like do they not know, like does Yui not know that Kaito, or I guess
Well,
that's not really a thing yet.
I mean,
There's no lines drawn
Yui's
right
gonna know if they keep watching the show like they do.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I feel bad for Yui too though, because she got that excited that she did when she originally, it reminded me a lot of when she went and talked with Taka about Noah the first time. And like she was like very like, oh man, I want to do that again. And I was like looking and seeing how much fun I was having. It's like we don't get to see that from her a lot. And I don't want her heart to get broken again.
Yeah, this was like one of the few times she seemed excited, because usually she's very like, I don't want to say this in a bad way, but she's like very calculating.
Yes.
She likes to think everything through. She's very type A.
She's got charts. She's got line graphs.
She's got questions, and they're on a piece of paper.
I know she wrote them down. She might not be busting it out, but I know she's the kind of person to write down questions before she has a conversation with somebody.
She got journals. She's got binders.
Dear diary.
She's got dividers in those binders, and each of them have Post-it notes on them.
Very well organized. People should hire
color-coded.
her. She's very organized.
She is. If I need my wedding planned, I know who I'm calling. She's got highlighters and color coordinated with Post-it notes. All right.
Same. And yeah, this is the scene where after Sota and Yui leave, this is where Maya asks Io, like, hey, are you into Yui? And Io's like, yes, I am. Just like straight up, straightforward, no shame, no
Nice.
nothing. It was just like, yep, that's a fact.
No shame. No shame.
I thought it was really weird the way he elaborated though, because he said she reminds me when I'm hanging out with her. She reminds me of my ex.
That was bizarre. And like the one that he cheated on, let us not forget.
On top of that, he says, and it's comforting that she reminds me of my ex.
Ooh.
And I'm like,
Ooh.
dude, that's some risky business.
I'm glad you guys are saying this because I'm the kind of person that, I don't know. I mean, to varying levels of success have I been on good terms when a relationship of mine terminates. But I have never like purposely sought out comfort in finding someone just like someone who I dated before. If anything, that's a negative to me.
Yeah.
That's just me though, not a positive.
No, I mean, it's not a negative 100% of the time, but it's definitely like a flag of you're not over that person.
You don't want
Right.
the new person to hear that and be like, oh, you're great. You remind me of my ex. And it's like,
Yeah, no.
what was the reason
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
ex?
yeah,
What
bye.
trait do I share that made that relationship
Yeah.
not work?
It's
I don't
kinda
know
like,
if I'd even want to know that far. I'd be like, yikes.
kind of I was like kind of saying in a way like, hey, you look like my next ex-girlfriend. Like,
Yeah,
yowza.
it's a little wild. And then on the other side of the coin, Maya reveals that she doesn't think Sota sees her romantically. And I don't blame her. I don't think Sota sees anything or anyone romantically. Really.
Just the mirror. Just the mirror.
Just the mirror. He's a narcissosexual. But she I'm not sure if that's the word, but Maya says something that I think is one of the most meta things we've ever seen on Terrace House. And she says, maybe he just wants screen time.
Ooh.
Yeah, that reminded me of like an American show where it's like people stir up drama in order to get more screen time. And it's like, we've never had to suspect anyone of this before.
So
I mean,
he just
not as openly, at least.
so he just
Yeah.
wants. So he's saying that if he's dating someone, he's more likely to be on the final cut of shows than if he's not. Is that the thought here?
Yeah, I mean,
mean,
look how much time Shinsuke got.
That's probably why he went on the Shinsuke date, knowing he was never going to kiss him.
Probably. I mean, think about it, right? Like, if you're an editor of the show, what would you rather put? Like,
Yeah.
what would you rather give 4 minutes to on the episode, right? Like,
Makes sense to me.
A really, like a cool tour through a brewery, or people just sitting around in the living room.
Right. It makes sense to me. I mean, I don't know. To me personally, if I wanted, to have screen time, I mean, I don't know if dating's my strategy on Terrace House, but I would like have funny, interesting conversations. I guess as my hope. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? But
let's-
it's just like really, like, what is your motivation here then? Like, I thought you're getting ideas for your app. Now you're worried about fake dates so you can be featured on a show more.
We're not saying that's what Sota wants. We're saying that's what Maya thinks Sota wants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just the Sota guy. As much as we talk about him, man, like he is just one of the most unpredictable people I think I've ever seen in this show. Like I can never exactly understand why he does what he does, and I can never predict what he's going to do. He's just an enigma.
I think it's less about predicting, but more just like, it can't get worse, right? And then it does.
Yeah.
And then it does.
It's more so him just finding a way to make it worse, and it's like, fuck, dude.
It can't get worse, right? And then he asks Maya out. Like, it's all terrible for him. And I in some ways I feel bad, but another way is like, you don't ask a girl or anyone on a date by saying, hey, there's a spot open for you.
Yeah, he needs to learn. Like I said, hopefully he gets some key takeaways from this experience and like grows as a person, because he's got a lot of growing up to do, a lot of maturing to do if he's going to have a successful relationship going forward.
I just don't know how likely that is, because I mean, the way he talks about himself, he already acts like he's the old guard, like he's an old man, like, oh, I'm so full of wisdom, or like when I was your age, ... You know,
I had a
you know
kid
what I
and
mean?
a divorce.
Right, right. So that automatically ages him like fucking 20, 30 years ahead, I guess.
I think, his coworkers aren't a good influence. He works with he's like the young guy at work. So he gets to play that up. But then when he's in Terrace house, he plays up that he's like the old experienced person. It's made him into this enigma.
You know what we haven't gotten? You know what we haven't gotten is another shot at him at work. And we haven't gotten feedback from any of his coworkers that may or may not have seen some episodes. Because usually we do get that, or sometimes we do get that. Like, hey, I saw you on Terrace House, blah, blah, blah happened. What's up with that?
What we need to get to, I know Robert's getting there soon, is the second rejection.
We do, but we have a few more hoops to jump through to get there. So,
worse.
Real quick, I just want to say this. There's a scene in the kitchen with Sota, Risa, and Yui, and Sota reveals that he did get Yu glasses. He did end up going out with Ayo to get these glasses, even though that's quote-unquote gross. And I'm just saying, another Terrace, please. Give me that deleted scene.
Please.
Please.
I need the glasses picking date.
Yeah,
Same.
We need this.
And we cut to the living room. Sota and Maya are sitting there. Sota's wearing a hat straight out of like a 2001 Linkin Park music video. And
it's not a Kango. I can't remember what
it's
it was
the fishing hat.
Bucket hat.
yeah.
Bucket hat.
Oh my
basically.
God.
And he reaffirms
glasses.
with Maya, hey, are you still interested in going to glass making? And she just straight up to his face brings up are you sure you're doing this for more screen time, or like, are you interested?
I was surprised she was that blunt about it, but damn.
If anyone was going to be, it would be her. You know.
Yeah.
I think though also she feels like he deserved it too, based on what was said or wasn't said. Like, because she doesn't seem like someone to be outwardly mean, you know, and that was kind of a mean thing to say. But again, you got to consider who it's being said.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't want to be used either.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And I guess for Sota, he took this as a hint of, okay, I guess glass making isn't the right thing. I'll come up with something else for us to do on the date. Like, that's the message he received from that interaction somehow.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Not the common denominator here, which is,
he's speaking a different
Sota.
language. Yeah, he's speaking a totally different language here than everyone else.
And I want to talk about this scene real quick, because to me this is like, it's weird in a lot of ways. So it's the playroom, right, with Ayo and Yui. They're finally alone together. We as the viewers finally get to see them alone together, right? And there was something about their chemistry where, to me, it was like very heartwarming to see. You know, Ayo reveals he wants to be a personal trainer, and Yui's just like super supportive and like, hey, like, you found your new dream. And that's it. And I was both very happy to see that and then almost immediately bored.
That's a sign, isn't it?
A little bit.
It's kind of a sign that it's working out.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I was surprised. Like, there's definitely a lot has happened behind closed doors or on another terrace, I guess. between them just hanging out at home. They're close in age, I believe.
23 and 21 or 20.
Yeah.
That's pretty close.
And they're both at the crossroads in their lives. Yui's trying to get a job. Aya's trying to figure out, what do I do after soccer? So I can definitely see them bonding over a lot of that.
And Yui gave him the kind of Noah talk, like, so what are your plans? So what are your steps you're taking?
Yeah. What have you found something to aspire to? Aspire is the word that she used. And it's like, yeah.
Like, to me, though, there was something about their energy where it didn't feel... Because, like, when she asked it to Noah, it felt like she's a career counselor and he's a junior in high school. But when she asked Ayo this, it kind of came from, like, hey, I care about you, like, as a person. You're someone I spend a lot of time with, and I just want to make sure that, like, you know what you're doing in life because I want to be there for you.
To me, I took it kind of as a qualifier, like, I'm thinking about dating you because you're gentlemanly and open doors. And so,
this is worthy we're talking about, so it wouldn't be a surprise.
Feelings for,
yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I find it weird because, like, in a lot of ways, I do want to see more of these scenes with them building up their relationship. But it's funny how I was kind of like almost already bored by, like, well, there it is. There's that scene. And I just can't decide if it's because I'm still pissed at the Terrace House editors for, like, just kind of ghost dropping it on us.
Yeah. Here's the thing. It's fine if it happens once, maybe twice. I mean, once it happened in Boys and Girls in the City, right? It happened in Boys and Girls in the City. I don't remember what, if at all, it happened in Aloha State. But
a lot of things fell apart at the end of Aloha State.
Yeah,
for many reasons.
Aloha State just kind of turned into a mess. But then, like, this series and we've talked about it, I kind of to death at this point. But there's just been so many incidences where we just get information that was like, okay, where the hell did that come from? And because it just didn't make any sort of sense.
Yeah.
It just was, I don't know what the hell they're doing in that editing room, man.
But Jack, don't worry. I'm here to save you.
Please.
We are at the scene you want to talk about.
Yes.
We're on the deck. I didn't know this house had a second story. It had a terrace, believe it or not. This house has a terrace.
It had a weird sink out there, some fire. I don't know. I had to pause. What am I looking at? There's like
I'm
a
here
torch
for it,
out there.
though.
Yeah.
I'm here for that. And Soda's taking a nice drag of his cigarette, sitting out there, I assume doing work or maybe reprogramming his AI that lives inside him.
Well, yeah, if he's to be believed what he's doing, he's saying, I'm thinking about what to do since we can't do glass blowing now.
Yeah. So Maya comes in, or I guess leaves the house, right? Goes out into the terrace and says, "Hey, I'm seeing you, but I'm also seeing Kaito, and I'd really rather not see you." Basically, is what she's saying.
I don't want to see two dudes.
Yeah, I don't want to date two people.
And since he asked me first, like really, timing is the reason. Come on now.
And Soda's response is, "That's fine. I couldn't come up with an alternative to glass blowing anyway."
Dude, he can't even help it anymore at this point. He cannot even help himself. He's just like, pull out the bullshit immediately. Think on the cuff. All right, go. And he opens his mouth without thinking.
I just, like, come on. Movies, dinner, lunch, picnic.
Gelato again.
Go to a damn park, run in a hamster ball on a lake.
I don't know about y'all. I mean, to me, glasses blowing sounds fun. No? Am I the only one here?
Okay, I'm just trying to make a point here. Jack, can you come up with 3 different date ideas off the top of your head that aren't glass blowing?
Yeah. Yes.
Exactly. Like, how hard is it?
It's not.
It's not. But she's into fashion. Let's go shopping.
Here's the thing. Like I keep saying, right? Like if he just fucking talked to her in the house and like tried to grow the relationship beyond the 1 or 2 days a week that their paths intersect. Isn't that a line he used to before? Like, oh, if our schedules line up.
Yeah.
So fucking pompous. Yeah. And so it's just like if he did any of the homework needed, then I don't think that she'd be turning him down at this phase, if she thought he was kind of a genuine, sincere person that wasn't just looking for that screen time.
I think it would just be uncharacteristic of him at this point to make it any easier on himself, or just come up with something. I don't know. And I think it's kind of at this point playing into the theory of him just wanting more screen time.
Right.
Like, I think he's coming at it from like he's made this into a formula. He thinks that this is the easiest way Like
Right.
you go on dates with people, you get to know them, and you go out with them. He's totally ignoring the in-between part, which actually probably has the most breakthroughs in a relationship building. He's just like dates. That's how it happens.
Yeah,
how
the
I get
feelings
on the
come
show.
later. Because it doesn't even seem like he feels any sort of emotion towards like these people that he was even going out with. Really, anyone.
Yeah, I kind of want to gear this question out here for you guys because, I mean, I know the two of us on this podcast have been in relationships for a long time, and there are two of us who have not in relationships, but nonetheless, all of us have been on dates, hopefully more than one in our lifetimes, right? So when you're thinking about, oh, I'm going to go on a date with X person, or I need to plan this date, or whatever, how much do you weigh what I want to do versus what I think the person I'm going on a date with wants to do?
Yeah, it's usually, it's definitely weighing towards what the other person wants to do, and at the very least neutral.
Yeah, and when I'm planning something neutral, it's like let's like engage in activity that fosters conversation.
Yeah.
Right,
The
right.
activity isn't the important part.
Right,
It's
right.
how are we going to enjoy ourselves and be able to talk and get to know each other better.
Yeah,
Right, but when you go to like when you even watch a silly sitcom at 7 p.m. on NBC, right? Like how many times have you seen on American sitcoms where the goofy guy sees a hot girl at the bar, but she's like a CrossFit trainer, and they'd hit it off, and she's like, "Oh, do you do CrossFit?" And he's like, "Oh, of course I do CrossFit. Yeah, let's do a CrossFit date on Friday." Like sure, it's for humor, but the intended idea is still that the person who's interested and wants to instigate the date does something for the other person. Granted, in that case, it leads to like him getting hurt, and it's funny, but he's doing it for the person that he wants to go on the date with. Sota is just thinking for himself here. He's like, what do I want to do? Well, I want to see a brewery. I'm going to invite Maya with me on a date.
how can this
there.
serve me?
Yeah,
I need
I
an
want to learn how
ally.
to make. I want to learn how to make glass. I'll invite Maya with me on that date. It's like, but no, you don't think what she
There's
wants
a
to
spot open, like literally.
do. Yeah, I'm about to go on a ride to glass making.
And
Would you like to
that's-
join?
And all these points you're bringing up and more are why this man literally has an entire episode dedicated to his rejections and how embarrassing they are. Way to take the fucking double L Sota. He might be the biggest villain now. I think maybe with this, he's eclipsed Yudai. Perhaps.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Like
That
at least
was
with
hard to do.
Yudai, like with Yudai, it was like he's pathetic, but he's being pathetic on his own.
Yeah,
With
and he's
Sota-
young.
Yeah, but with Sota, he's like actively affecting the other people in the house.
And honestly, with Yudai, to me, it's funny. With Sota, it's just kind of sad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
kinda
it's just
tragic.
kind of pathetic, and it's like you're watching a very, very slow car crash.
I mean, it's funny too. Don't get me wrong, but it's also
hilarious.
sad.
Gives us a lot to talk about.
That's for
Thanks,
sure.
Soda.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You have been
you're the best, Sota.
If anything else, entertaining.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So yeah, we cut to the kitchen, and here Maya just tells Kaito like, "Hey, I've told Sota to fuck off." And Kaito like, he looks pretty happy. He looks like very slyly happy. He's like, "Yeah, I won." He had that face.
yeah.
I have a problem with Kaito. Doesn't make eye contact with anyone. He's always looking at his screen when he's talking to someone.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I don't know if that's like just him being socially awkward, maybe, or he just likes being distracted. I don't know.
Maybe it's because he looked into the camera that one time, and now he's very conscious of it.
Yeah, and I was like, oh no, people on Instagram are telling me I look at the camera too much. Don't look at anything now.
Just keep your eyes down. You'll never catch a camera.
Oh man. I hope he gets more scenes where he stares right in the camera. I miss. It's been a while.
I hope the finale is just him staring dead into the camera. I hope you enjoyed this season of Terrace House opening your doors, everyone.
Unblinking, just like just waving, like
Yeah, and he says, "We'll see you in 2020 at the Tokyo Olympics with Guy Sato,"
God.
and then it just fade to black.
Like Tokui, Mina-san. The 2020 Olympics take place in Tokyo, Japan.
Dude, I hope we see Guy in the next season, and also maybe Kaito because they know each other.
I hope he sees.
Anyway.
I hope she breaks up with Noah and comes back.
Let's wrap this episode up. We're almost at the end here. In the boys' room, Io and Sota are there. And Sota finally gets Io to fucking talk about the fact that he likes Yui. And it's like, it took so long to get to that. Why did it take so long to get to that?
It's all building. It's all building.
Is it though?
This is the arc. This is the romance arc beginning.
But yeah, like it actually Io says, and this is where the Richako pays off in Act 3. He says when Risako calls herself that, he's like turned off immediately.
Richiko hungry. I would be too, man.
Yeah. That's exactly what she's saying, basically.
It
That's like me.
reminded- Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh,
I was
it
gonna say
reminded
that's
me.
like. Damn it.
Go Daily. Daily, go the reins. Daily, go.
Daily.
Okay, it reminded me a lot of when Taka lectured Mayu and was like you're just like dan, and it's like he couldn't date someone like that. This is Io saying I can't date someone that refers to themselves in the third person, and that's an okay line to draw in my book.
Are you one of
totally.
those? I guess we should go around the table. Can you tolerate that or not? We'll start with Daily. When someone refers to themselves in third person.
If they're like 4, then yeah. If they're in their 20s, not so much.
Okay. Colin?
That's like me saying like Colin-chan wants to eat, or like, no, it would be more like
Colin-chan.
yeah, or like Colin wants to eat, you know, or like I don't know. I can't think of a weirder way to say it, but it's just really strange to me, and it would probably I'm kind of in Io's camp. It would kind of drive me nuts.
Robert?
Me too.
Robert, I feel like Robert could tolerate it.
Well, so here's the thing. I tolerate it in only 2 instances. One, in anime, because it's just like a trope, and I've pretty much become such a battle-hardened anime veteran that I just am numb to any time just a cute lolly girl just uses her name and says she's hungry. It's like, yep, of course, because it's fucking anime. And
so
There's
can
your
think
sound
anything
bite.
else.
There's your Robert sound bite.
There it is, exactly.
Tadaima fans.
And the only other time is Terry Crews in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, because he often says, like, Terry loves yogurt. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? Terry's built the muscle to earn the right to say that on national TV.
His name's Terry on the show.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's Terry Jeffers. So he'll just say, like, Terry loves yogurt. Oh, Terry loves karaoke. It's like, it's so good. Like, I'll
funny.
accept that.
He's allowed
Okay.
to do that.
See, I thought Robert would be okay with this, if anyone. And you guys want to know what my response is to this question?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Jack Talk Thai. Jack Talk Thai. Real good.
All
Meet
right,
the parents,
Jack.
anybody? No? Meet the
I
parents?
didn't-
Are you serious?
I didn't want to have to say this on the show, but this is your last week. We're kicking you off.
No one's seen Meet the Parents of the 3 of you people with Robert De
I've
Niro
seen-
and Ben Stiller.
Here's the messed up thing, and you're gonna hate me even more for saying this. I've seen Meet the Fockers. I haven't seen Meet the Parents.
I'm beating my head, face, and neck with the microphone right now.
I've seen both, and I don't understand that reference, my dude.
Someone out there on the internet, please slip in my DMs and tell me you understand what I'm saying. Oh my God. Okay, I was trying to make a joke. Fucking bombed. But I was saying that in certain instances, if it's funny, then I'll tolerate it. But only if they're trying to be funny. If they're trying to be cute, then it makes me want to
There's a line.
vom in my mouth. But if
It's
they're doing it
different.
to be a kind of fun, to elicit humor, then I would laugh at that.
Yeah, that's the
like-
Brooklyn Nine-Nine thing.
Yeah.
It's funny.
God,
Yeah.
people. I've never been so embarrassed.
Yeah. And then here's the last time we get to see the panel. Yu says she's already bored with Sota, which I get that. 2 rejections is fine, but like I don't think there's anywhere he can go after this episode.
He's already dead. Stop it.
That's exactly what we said at this point.
He's
in the
dead.
episode. I was like, he's like, no, stop. He's already dead.
And Yama said this, and I quote because I love it, talking about Sota. He says, he and I are alike. We're both unpopular with the ladies.
Yeah,
And he says it with conviction.
That's a fair statement.
it's real. It's real,
Like,
yeah.
it's just, he knows who he is, and I love him for that. We cut to the final scene here at the Monster Skate Park. Yes, the one spelled SK8 Park. And it's one final Sota date with Kaito. Sota's on a skate date with Kaito, ladies and gentlemen. This is skate date number 5.
It's an opportunity for you to learn that I can turn. That you can see me turn on a skateboard. Let's go, Kaito.
Yeah, he can turn and you leaf because he can turn on a skateboard. So yeah, they both shred it a bit, and by that I mean Kaito just shreds it, and Sota, he's there. And he finishes the episode by saying what I think all of us were so surprised and shocked by. Who saw this coming? Sota's leaving.
He met his goal. He met his goal. He was rejected by every girl on the show. Oh, wait. That wasn't his goal at all.
Yeah, the way he phrases it, right? He's like, I feel I've accomplished my goal. Now whenever I'm creating things, I'll think, oh, Kaito might like this. Or maybe Maya might enjoy this.
What a
and
weak
like,
sauce fucking explanation.
I'm sorry, but you legitimately tried to go on a date with Maya where you couldn't even think of one thing she would like to do.
You develop business-to-business software. What the fuck is Yui have to do with any of this?
It's bad user research.
You
Very
dumb
bad
ass.
user research.
My God.
Could you imagine him returning to his company and they're like, well, so what did your time at Terrace House teach you? Well, it taught me girls don't like glass blowing dates. That's all I got.
They just write down no one likes soda. They're like, oh, yeah, interesting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh.
And Kaito just kind of reveals that, yeah, he's like super into Maya, which we all kind of knew, but I think this is the first time he's like explicitly saying this on camera.
Yep.
So cool.
Cupid's arrows are beginning to carve their paths, guys. I think we have a good idea where the next episode is going to go. There's going to be at least 3 major events that happen. Right? Someone's going to leave, and 2 couples are going to pair up.
We'll
Potentially. And,
Yeah, well,
and
we'll
someone
see.
new could come in.
Look, I'm just saying, man, we left part 5 thinking, oh yeah, Io and Risako totally gonna be a thing.
Yep, fair enough.
And then the show's just like, fuck you.
One
Seriously.
episode later.
Yeah. Well, like 2 episodes. I think it's 2 episodes since the gym date. But
Oh, yeah. You're right.
But
But
still, it's like,
it was a strong setup.
yeah. And then it's just like out of nowhere, just kidding, he's into Yui. It's like, ugh.
I caught it.
So look, all I'm saying is by next episode they could be like, oh yeah, Io's actually been secretly with Maya though, and you know they're like really super. They're spending a lot of time together,
We'll
and we
see,
would be
man.
none the wiser.
We'll have to just
Yeah.
wait and see.
There's no continuity, it feels like, in this show.
Speaking of which, we didn't really like outline how we're doing this. Is this now maybe a good time?
Oh, I was going to say it in the wrap. You mean like how we're doing our spoiler cast overall?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna
Okay.
shout it out here in the ending here.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we're about to wrap up this episode. Yeah, get excited, guys. We have more spoiler casts coming to you. We're gonna be publishing 2 a week on Tuesdays and Fridays. So today's the first Tuesday. Expect our spoiler cast of episode 42 to come this Friday. And we're just going to continue with next Tuesday, next Friday, and so on and so forth until we are done with part 6, the final part of Opening New Doors, which saying that is sad.
And there has been some questions as well that have come up through some of the comments online on like, how are we like doing this? Like, are we watching the episode and then doing a spoiler cast? And so that's kind of how we're doing it. Like, we'll all as a group watch one episode, then we'll reconvene as a group and do the spoiler cast before we watch the next episode. So it's not like we're binging it, and feel free to binge it, but I'm just saying if you want to follow the show along with us, watch one episode of Terrace House, then come back for the spoiler cast and just follow that pattern.
We
if you
have
want to.
no idea what's happening in the next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to be as blind as possible because, you know, there's just no interest when we're faking, like, you know, we all know what's going to happen the next episode, but we're like, man, I don't know where it's going to go, guys.
Yeah. No, we're resisting the urge because trust me, we want to binge it too,
It's
just like everyone
hard.
else does. Yeah, but we want to also be genuine on the show. So we really have no idea what's going to happen when
So
we talk.
basically, what we're saying is we're falling on the sword for you guys. We're refusing to binge this show to provide you guys a quality product. And
Yeah,
you know,
I mean-
if you know, we do need more fans. There are more spots open for that.
Oh,
so if you know
Robert,
anyone,
why would you align yourself with that man? Why would you go
You know
on Team
anyone.
Sota with this shit? We saw how it ended with him, man.
Robert just wants more screen time. I mean, audio time.
Clearly,
I want more. I want more in your ears time.
you get so much ear time.
I don't like
You know,
that.
I think
don't like that.
I think it would be genuinely really fucking difficult to record a spoiler cast if we've already seen all the episodes. Like, I don't think
Yeah.
it would just be really hard.
Yeah. There's
No, this is the way to do it, and it's not like I said, the way we want to do it, but we just think it makes for a better show. And hey, if you agree, let us know. If you disagree, let us know. We want feedback. This is going to be, a conversation. We're always going to be revisiting how we're doing the format of the show, and right now this just works best for us. So we'd love to hear what you guys think.
Yeah, for sure. We'd like to keep the discussion going with you guys. You know, we've given a lot of our opinions on the show in the past, hour. And we'd like to hear some of your guys as well. So feel free to either leave comments down on YouTube or check out our Facebook group at Tadaima Clan. Just search that up. You'll find it. One of us will let you in. And we'd like to pose this question to you guys for this episode. If you graciously took up the open spot on Sota's glasses picking date, submitted your resume, got accepted after the second interview, what pair of glasses would you buy him? Let us know. Shoot us an image or something.
Yeah,
We'll see.
send us some links to the kind of glasses you'd pick out for Sota on that date if he asked you to go.
Yeah.
And do that.
And we're also starting up another contest, everybody. Get excited, get hype. Jack, you want to tell the folks about that?
Yeah, if I don't mess it up, and help me if I do. But so yeah, guys, our last contest went really well. It was awesome. Thank you for everyone that submitted entries into that, and congratulations again to Mark for winning the prize. And so because that was such a success, we decided to do it again, and also because we said we're going to do it again, we're going to do it again. Essentially, we're going to make this a little bit simpler, though. Okay, so in order to enter this contest, this giveaway, you just need to leave us a review on iTunes, and then either send us a DM or an email or a comment or something like that with your iTunes screen name or your username, whatever it is. So just pay attention to what it is when you're leaving that review and let us know, so that way we know it's you and we can count you. And we'll try and figure it out either way, but like, you definitely increase your chance of winning if we know who the hell you are. And so that's all you need. And then we're going to determine what the prize is later, but it will be a pretty awesome prize. I can promise you that. Last time it was AirPods or like $170 in Amazon. So it's not a small prize.
Yeah, but Tadaima, I already left an iTunes review because I'm a loyal fan that have been listening for weeks now. Well, congratulations to you because you're already pretty much entered. As long as you've left an iTunes review, don't worry about it. You're already in the running. You're the earliest entries into our contest.
Yeah, you're already in. And as long as we know who you are, again, you are already in.
So, and again, like Jack said, even though you've already left a review, please feel free to leave us another DM or email. Just remind us, who you are, what your name is on iTunes, just so we can be sure we're counting everyone up when we're raffling everything. And I guess we should probably say that email, right? Just to be sure. Questions at terracehousepodcast.com. Just shoot it there. Or you can find all of our social media links in the description or in the show notes. Catch us again this Friday with our spoiler cast of episode 42. And this has been Tadaima. Thanks for listening. Itekimasu! Email us at questions@terracehousepodcast.com and follow us on Instagram at TadaimaGram and on Twitter at TadaimaPod. Check us out on Facebook and YouTube at Tadaima, a Terrace House podcast.